Are women more cut out to be side chicks or wives?
Can you define the modern woman?
Everything that's not like your grandma or your great grandma.
You know, I think we can be wifey material depending on who, you know, we're involved with. You can't expect us to be wifey material for someone that doesn't deserve it.
Automatically wrong.
Okay.
Well, it's conditional femininity.
I don't think so.
Hold on, no. Condition. See, a woman who's feminine is feminine, regardless if the man around her is trying to marry her or he's just the guy who's delivering her groceries. I don't know where you ladies get off talking about, well, I can act right for the right man. You need to act right for the men who built the world that you live in. Because we're all the right men.
Well,
you just need to act better for the one that's taking care of you.
Or just not act for them at all.
That's a bar. She got him with that one.
You know what I'm saying?
She got him.
So, I think what I'm trying to say is that, you know, you can't give your best to someone that doesn't deserve it.
Bingo.
Groups of people who formerly felt that they had to settle are no longer feeling that they got to settle. Y'all hear me? Groups of people, not just black cis hetero women, right? Well, black trans women, right? Black gay women, right? Groups of people who, you know, black fat women. Groups of people who formerly felt that they had to settle in order to be in a relationship are no longer feeling that. Because social media is letting us see, oh no, they feeling us out here. They feeling us, right? The people who are attracted to me as I am. And so the narrative in our mind is becoming, I don't have to settle. And when you don't settle, by not settling, because when we think about settling, a lot of times what we think about is accepting a person who you're not physically attracted to. And settling is so much more than that. And it's so much more insidious and so much more dangerous than that. So let me make it clear what I mean when I say what I mean when I say settling. So if you knowingly enter into a long-term relationship with somebody who talks to you like a dog, that's settling. If you knowingly enter into a long-term relationship with somebody that you know cannot financially support the lifestyle that you live, that's settling. If you knowingly enter into a relationship with someone who has a horrible relationship track record, they have fucked over and abused and harmed everybody that they've ever been with. If you knowingly enter into a relationship with someone like that, that's settling. All of those things are settling as well. And I'm saying knowingly, right? So if somebody manipulates you and lies and you don't know that those things are the case, then that's not what I'm talking about. That's why I'm using the term knowingly, right? To knowingly enter into those relationships is settling. And so in the past, because we were believing the narrative that don't nobody want nobody that looks like you. Don't nobody want nobody who got that many kids. Don't nobody want nobody who is your age. Don't nobody want nobody who is your size. Don't nobody want nobody who is gender fluid. Don't nobody want nobody who is not cis het. That's the narrative we were being fed, right? And we were feeling strange about it. And we were like, oh my God, how am I gonna, what am I gonna? And so then just anybody who would give us a little snippet of attention, we was running and grabbing at it because we did not think that we had options. And now the narrative is changing. An organic revolution is occurring. And we know that we have motherfucking options. Right? Right? This is what die alone is about. This is why motherfuckers are yelling out die alone. Listen to me now. Hear me well. That's what people mean when they're saying that. You know now that you have options. And so you're not out here just taking whatever crumbs. Right? And let me tell you something. One sorry motherfucker whose business depends upon other sorry motherfuckers paying him to insult you, he cannot change the narrative. He can't change shit. He ain't got the power to change shit. He holds power among that small group of people who pays him to insult you. That's where he holds power. He doesn't hold power in the real world. He's not even here. He's not even here. We see him anywhere? Nah, he ain't even here. He ain't in your life either. Wag your phone around, see if you see that motherfucker in your life. He ain't there. Right? So he doesn't hold any power in your life. He does not determine who out in these streets is attracted to you. He don't determine that. Since he has become popular, have people stopped telling you how fine you was on your page? They haven't, because you still fine. Have people stopped telling you how attractive they are to you? They haven't, because you still attractive. Has your Tinder stopped blowing up? It hadn't, because they still want you. Is your Hinge, dead? It ain't, because they still trying to get with you. Whatever social media, whatever dating app you use, or if you just go right on out here to the club and kick it. Had they stopped looking at you, they stopped buying drinks for you, they haven't, because they still want you. He don't hold no power. He don't hold no power. He holds power among the people who are giving him power and who are paying him. He doesn't hold any power in the real world. And so that's why he has to attempt to bring you and people who look like you and people who feel like you and people who have accomplished the things that you have accomplished and people who are living the type of life that you're living. The only power he has is to yell at you, you gonna die alone. Instead of being with you, I'm good with it, boo. I'm good with it. Instead of being with you or any of these minions that's participating with you in this, and the worst you got is that I'm gonna die alone, motherfucker, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Because I would rather be by myself than be with any crusty ass motherfucker who sits up and pays money for somebody to insult people on his behalf. Don't nobody want that. Ain't nobody checking for that. Ain't nobody checking for that. So when you hear that, that's how I want you to interpret it. That's what die alone means. Die alone means if you don't lower your standards to make yourself comfortable with being with someone like me, then you will be by yourself. And what he is counting on is that your solitude is not a sanctuary. My solitude is a motherfucking sanctuary. Right? These leather seats feel good as hell. These seats feel good. I don't know if this shit's really leather. I ain't no car enthusiast like that. Right? These seats feel good as hell. I love driving this shit right here. I feel fire as hell when I'm driving my shit. Got my little sunroof open, little, rolling here and there. I love this shit. My solitude is fire. This is my solitude. This where I be at every morning. This where I go and do my daily workout. That shit is fire. What he's counting on is that your solitude is not a sanctuary. And so he's counting on saying that him saying die alone is scary to you. Make your life the sanctuary that you want to be living in. And then whenever you choose a partner, it will not be out of desperation or duress. And anyone who does not meet your own unique personal criteria, you will be happy to send them back into the ethers. happy to send them back into the ethers. You don't have to have any kind of bitterness. You don't have to have any kind of irritation. Oh, I'm sorry. You're disturbing the peace of the sanctuary. Boo, you got to go. Boo, you got to go. Right? That's how you take the time to create your life. Don't you be out here doing dumb shit like paying money in the evenings to listen to a motherfucker insult other people. I don't care who they is. Don't you be doing that. You spend your evening, you give your time, you give your attention, you give your money to endeavors that are going to turn your life, your solitude into your sanctuary. That's what you do. And then whoever wants to come in, whoever wants to join you, whoever wants to be a part of your life, you will be in a better position to vet them, to look at them and say, can you even be a part of this? Can we even have a conversation? I can't even have a conversation with a motherfucker who thinks that watching motherfuckers insult people is a pastime you should pay for. What are we going to talk about? You're not even worthy. It's not even worthy. You're not even on a level that you can converse with me. Right? So as we are considering who to bring into our circle, we have to make sure that we've made this circle where we want to be. Now, third part, and this is going to be my final part on this dying alone bullshit. That's the issue. What I just said is, have you made your circle, your solitude, your place, what you want it to be and where you want to be? Because so many times when we bring in a man, when we bring in a partner, we're bringing in the partner because we think that bringing in the partner is what makes my place where I want to be. And that is a mindset that you have to let go of. Right? A partner cannot do that. Even if he or she is the greatest partner in all the lands, they cannot make your life the place where you want to be. You are responsible for doing that. Even as a stay-at-home mom, even as a homeschooling mother, right? I was responsible for making myself happy. I was responsible for making sure that I was eating properly. I was responsible for making sure that I was working out. I was responsible for making sure that I was reading the books and taking the courses and doing the things that kept me happy. It had nothing to do with that person. I had to do those things for myself. So don't be out here thinking that life is not a fairy tale, y'all. Please stop doing that. Life is not a fairy tale. Life is not all terrible and then you find the Prince Charming and he fixes everything. That's not what life is. That's not what life is. First of all, if the man or the partner is a good man or a good partner, you're putting too much responsibility. You're putting the responsibility for your happiness on that person. That's wrong. And that's something that another person can never achieve. Another person can never be responsible for your happiness. That's number one. And number two, just having a man or just having a partner is not going to be enough to make your life a sanctuary. Okay? Let me say it again. Just having a man, just having a husband, just having a wife, just having a partner is not going to be enough to make your life a sanctuary. That is not how it works. I know that that's the lie that Walt Disney has fed us our whole lives, and we've swallowed it whole, and we've ingested it, and we've internalized it, and we believe that shit is true. That shit is a lie. Just having somebody by your side is not enough to make the life that you want. You still are going to have to figure out what it is that you want. And you have to do this for yourself and by yourself. You still are going to have to put in the effort to fulfill that destiny. You still are going to have to get your ass up and work every day to fulfill that destiny. You're still going to have to do that, whether you have a partner or not. So having a partner is not the key to fulfilling your destiny. right? It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a partner if that's what you want. But I don't want you to get into the erroneous, the wrong, the incorrect way of thinking that having a partner is the fulfillment of your destiny. That's it. Once I get a husband, that's it. Once I get a wife, that's it. That's not it. That's not it. All right? So you should not, when you understand that, then nobody can frighten you by yelling at you that you're going to die alone. Nobody can frighten you with that. My alone is fire. This shit is lush. This shit is plush and luxurious. I love this shit. Right? That's the first thing. And okay, no, that wasn't my final point. I lied. This is my final point right here. So, a woman, because she believes herself to be beautiful, because she has high self-esteem, because she knows her worth, and because she refuses to lower herself and to date people who are beneath her, is going to die alone. But a man can have raped women, he can have sexually assaulted children, he can have wreaked havoc in the life of every woman that he's ever been with, leaving them in a state of turmoil and trauma. He can have fucked up his credit and fucked up the credit of the women that he's been with. And he can have not lived up to his potential in any situation. He's not in his ideal job situation. He's not in his ideal housing situation. He hasn't lived up to his potential in any situation, but he's not in danger of dying alone. That's odd. It strikes me as odd. So a woman, just because she feels good about herself and loves herself and knows her worth and refuses to date people that she feels are beneath her, can die alone. But a man can do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and he's not going to die alone. Nobody's yelling out to him that he's going to die alone. And furthermore, he's not worried about dying alone. We are socialized to worry about dying alone. This fool, the crusty fools out here acting a damn fool, raping people, sexually assaulting people, stealing from people, fucking up motherfuckers' credit and fucking up their own credit, they ain't worried about dying alone. They ain't worried about that because they're not socialized to worry about that. So that's why nobody ever yells at them, you're going to die alone. He is not worried about that. When that man gets ready to get married, he's going to go and find him a fresh, young, 24-year-old, beautiful, successful girl, and he gonna marry her. He ain't worried about dying alone. He's not worried about that. He's not worried that he is not marriage material. He is not worried about that, not one bit. That's why that's not what anybody says to them. Nobody yells out to them, you're not marriage material, because they're not worried about that. They don't give a fuck about being marriage material. When they get ready to get married, they're gonna marry who the fuck they want to marry. That's my last piece on dying alone. If dying alone is a possibility, then it's a possibility for everybody. It's not just a possibility for people who journey under the sign of woman. It's not just a possibility for us. If dying alone is a possibility, it's a possibility for everybody. Right? If it's not, dying alone is not even a consideration for crusty foots who are out here wreaking havoc on the world. They ain't even worried for a second that they're going to die alone. Not even for one brief moment in time do they consider that. So if he does not have to worry about it, after he is out here literally destroying people, then I sure the fuck ain't finna worry about it. It's not a possibility for me either. Just like it ain't a possibility for him. It's not. That's unrealistic. That is complete and total bullshit. Don't fall for that, ladies. Don't be out here saying, if I don't do this, I'm gonna die alone. Well, how come he ain't gonna die alone? And he's done so much worse than that. And is engaged in doing something terrible right now. How come he ain't gonna die alone? If he ain't gonna die alone, then I damn sure ain't worried about dying alone. If it's somebody out here for his crusty, dusty, horrible ass, then it's somebody out here for my glorious, shining in the light of the sun ass. It's somebody out here for me too. If he ain't got to worry about it, then I ain't got to worry about it either. If I have to worry about it just because I won't lower my standards, then he has to worry about it too. But he doesn't. Nobody's saying that to him. You know why? Because it's not true. It's not true. Just like he will find a 24-year-old beautiful, successful woman that is attracted to him, you can find whatever type of person you want that is attracted to you. That's what social media is telling you. Whatever type of person you like, it's people out there like that like you too.